Midway as the new head football coach. Jeff Hume went to Legacy, opened the door up, and Shane Anderson has been at Midway twice under Ken Bechtel, also under Terry Gamble twice, 2 different times, including defensive coordinator. Was offered the job over the weekend, accepted it today, signed his contract, met with his staff at Connolly, the players at Connolly, met with his also staff and players at Midway. He joins us on SicEm365 Radio. What has been the high, what has been the largest emotion, talking to your former team and staff or your current staff and today alone?
Well, first of all, guys, thank you for having me on. It's an exciting day, exciting time for us and our family. And like I said, I'm going to try not to get emotional on this deal. You guys have been around me enough to know how much I care and how important, not only high school football, but just kids in general are. And anytime you walk away from a program that you poured everything into for 6 years, it's hard. And those coaches, and like I told those coaches, that's hard too, because I wouldn't be where I'm at without that coaching staff. And they're the reason that I have an opportunity, and those kids are the reason I have an opportunity. And so that was tough. And meeting with my superintendent, Derek Connolly, Wes Holt, that man's giving me the moon and giving me every opportunity to be successful. And so it's been an emotional day, but man, it's behind me now, and it's time to move on. And it's been a great day over here so far.
Shane, you're very familiar with the program and the ins and outs of it. Obviously, things are a little different now than when you left, given that the district is that gigantic ball of razor blades you're going to have to run through every week. But is this kind of in your DNA? Because when you went back to Connolly, which I know is your alma mater, they hadn't really run anything up the flagpole in a while either.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on, we want to win football games. That's the name of the game. And if you don't win football games, you're not going to be somewhere very long. But at the same time, I'm huge on investing in young men and really young ladies and just overall high school student athletes, and just investing in them and pouring into them and giving them every avenue and every opportunity to be successful. And that's what we've done, the last 6 years there at Connolly, and that's not going to change here. I actually haven't got to meet the team here yet. I will meet them in the morning at 7 a.m. at Strength and Conditioning, and I can't wait. And, to get to know these kids here and get to know this coaching staff that's here and, just continue to try to impact and change kids' lives is what we're going to do here.
I know in high school sports, there's so much moving around for most coaches. So when you leave someplace, I imagine you don't ever close the door entirely because you could always be back. Did you think you'd be back at Midway someday?
It's a goal. It's a goal of mine. I'm from Waco, like you said, and my parents still live here. My wife's from West, and my in-laws, they live here. And, so this was an opportunity to coach on the big stage, so to speak, be a 6A head coach with the best facilities in Central Texas, if not the state, in what should, in my opinion, be the top program in Central Texas. And, it was just a great opportunity for me. And I told Mr. Holt, in 2015 when he hired me, that the one job that I would leave for is the Midway job, and that I think it was going to come open in the middle of June. Absolutely not. But here we are, and like I said, the good Lord opened the door, and we got to take advantage of it.
Well, we have we're going to play a little bit here in a minute, a couple of minutes from Terry Gamble, his reaction to you getting the job at Midway, and we want you to stay on the line when we play that. But I also talked to Quentin Snell, who you know very well, a great coach at Connolly, great basketball coach. He's also on your football staff. He said, I've known Shane since he was 11, and he was thrilled and is thrilled for you. What does that mean when you have had people who knew you when you were just a kid, and they've seen you blossom into where you are right now?
You're going to make this hard on me, David. No, it means the world. Quentin Snell's the reason I'm a coach. He's one of the reasons. He came in when I was in junior high at Connolly, and he was fresh out of college, and he was the cool cat on campus. And, as a kid, you gravitate to those younger guys like that, and just to see how he interacted with the players. And, I've known him and his wife, and obviously, wasn't there, so to speak, but his sorry about that. I don't know. I guess I kept the door open too long here at Midway.
You know what that is? You know what that is? That's you getting back into Connolly Fieldhouse. They changed the code number on you already.
No, I'm standing right out here outside the Midway Fieldhouse. But no, back to Coach Snell. I've known him for a long time, and he's one of those guys that when you leave and you go off on your own, he's one of those guys you want to make proud. And so when I was able to go back in 2015 and work with him there at Conley, it was an unbelievable blessing. And not saying it too loud, but if I ever get an opportunity to bring him over here with me in any capacity, I'll do it.
Will you? You've always been a guy who's adapted to where you are. Obviously, you had an offense that you ran at Conley. You had a defense you ran at Conley. How much do you see your strategy adjusting to the 6A level, or is it kind of personnel based?
Well, I think obviously, like you said, you got to get in here and see what we have, and see. I know they have a lot of talent here, a lot of young talent, and I definitely think there's the pieces of the puzzle to put together, and to give us a chance to win on Friday night. I can't sit here and tell you we're going to do this, that, or the other. Our goal is to score touchdowns and keep the other team scoring touchdowns and be sound in the kicking game. And so, that's what we're going to approach. I told the staff here today, and I told the media earlier today that it's just, this isn't about me. This isn't about any other adult in this equation. My main concern right now is this senior class. These seniors deserve an opportunity to be a playoff football team, and it's my job and this coaching staff's job to make sure we give them every opportunity, and that we have a great plan in place come August 9th, and that we attack every day and every week one at a time. And we can't worry about who's on that schedule. We have to go attack it, and we got to try to develop young men. And at the end of the day, I think that scoreboard will take care of itself.
What's it like to be back on the Midway campus and, just kind of seeing how things have changed in the last few years?
It's familiar and different at the same time. A lot of same faces. You walk into the admin, last week for the interview, and you see a few faces that you remember, and then you go back this morning and sign your contract, and you see a lot of familiar faces. And so, it's real welcoming. They've been real welcoming and excited for me and my family. My daughter was not born when we were here. She's 4, and so she has no idea about this place. My son was about 4 when we made the transition to Conley, and so he remembers the big stadium, and he remembers bits and pieces of the indoor from coming over here and doing 7-on-7 and things of that nature. But it's great to be back, and like I said, I'm humble, I'm blessed. I can promise you this: I will not take having these facilities and having this diverse group of kids and this mix of kids and this community and the support this community pours into this program. I will not take that for granted at all.
Shane, I don't think there's any question based on what I know about the coaching search, and they had to turn that around pretty quickly since Jeff left for Mansfield and Legacy High. But I don't think there was any question that you seemed to be the front runner. There were others and good ones. It wasn't like it was handed to you, but you were the front runner. Did you ever have a sense of anxiety because it seemed like everything pointed to you?
I was nervous, because I knew what I wanted. I knew that when I found out the job was open, I knew that I wanted it. I knew the timing of it was not great. I knew that, anytime you try to take something over in June, not only are you, taking it over in June here, but then you're leaving a staff and a group of kids in June. And so just that part of it was, yes, it brought a lot of anxiety over the last week and a half and into my life and to my family's life. But, at the end of the day, we took a deep breath. We told ourselves, it's going to happen. Whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen every morning and every night. I just prayed to God that if it's His will, let it be done. And, it worked out, and I had to go win the interview and had to shear some things up and make sure these people understood how bad I wanted to be here.
Well, I guess the other side of that coin, though, is a coaching search in June goes faster than one in February.
There ain't no doubt it does. Ain't no doubt it does. And like I said, and we've known that. Like I said, as soon as I sent my application in and had some communication with Brad Shelton, I started making notes and started formulating a plan and just was, hoping, to hear from them this weekend after they finished the interviews, and hoping that I didn't have to go in there and delete those notes because I was ready and excited about the opportunity.
Shane, let's be honest. Midway's coming off a rough year. COVID could be part of that. A talent dip could be a part of that, and the district from crazy. from hell could also be a part of that, and all the above, because it wasn't just 2 or 3 years ago when they were playing in a state championship. Midway has a standard. It has been a standard to compete for championships, and I know that district, DeSoto, Duncanville, Cedar Hill, and others, they're really good. What is the standard right now for Midway, in your opinion?
Well, I think first and foremost, we got to come in here and establish our culture and our standard of what we want our field house and our facilities and our program to look like on a daily basis. That's the first thing we have to do. Once we get that done, then, like I said, we can start worrying about, what we need to do on the field as far as X's and O's. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing right now is making sure these kids understand that no matter who you're lined up against, no matter who that schedule is on, who's on that schedule and who you're playing, I think it's very, very important that those kids understand if we prepare well, if we prepare Monday through Thursday, and we're focused on what we need to be focused on, that it will have a chance to play with anybody. And like I said, I didn't say beat everybody on that schedule. I didn't say anything. The thing is, but we're not going to back down from anybody. And, the cool thing is these kids have already been through that 1 year. They know what to expect when they line up against some of those guys. They were in some ball games that they could have won last year and just didn't have some things go their way. And so we got to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that things go our way. And like I said, I think we have to go about it day by day, week by week, and opponent by opponent. But it's no different than through this interview process of who applied and who was interviewing and all of that. I can't control that. I can't control who we have to play. All I can control is that the Midway Panthers are prepared and that they're going to play as hard as they can for 4 quarters or however long it takes.
All right, Jack, do you have the Terry Gamble comment? Shane, we're going to put you on hold for a second, and this is not really long, but this is the guy that you look up to a great deal, and Terry Gamble, when I asked him to let me know about what this decision by Midway meant to him as well.
What great news coming out of Waco today in Midway ISD and hiring of Shane Anderson. I thank the Midway Independent School District, Dr. Kazanis, Brad Shelton, and Allison Smith will be extremely proud of the hire that they just made. And I think the community will be just excited about what's fixing to take place right now with Coach Anderson coming on board. What he brings to the table. He'll bring a passion, a caring about the program, about the kids. And I think that Midway just hired a great person, most of all, and a great football coach. So I think Midway's lucky. I think he's going to do great things. Look forward to coming down and catching a game if possible. And always will love those Midway Panthers. But congratulations to Midway ISD. What a great job they did. And Shane's going to be a great hire.
All right, you heard him. And first of all, how can anyone not notice that voice of Terry Gamble? I'm sure players and coaches have, in a fun-loving way, some PTSD when they hear that voice. But your thoughts about Terry? I know that he has meant an incredible amount to your career.
There's no doubt he has. And like I said, just like those coaches and kids at Conley, I wouldn't have this opportunity if he wouldn't have gave me an opportunity 10 years ago to be on his staff and to be his defensive coordinator. And, that opened the door for me to get my first head coaching job at Conley 6 years ago. And, so I owe a great deal of it to Terry, and what he brought to the table here at Midway. And I don't think there's any doubt, that dude right there is a winner. I think he was a head coach for 11 years and won 11 straight district championships. He has not been a head coach and not won a district championship. And so if I could ever get close to that or get close to being on his level, it'd mean a great deal to me. And, and when you get this opportunity, I don't want to disappoint him. I know what this place meant to him, and I know the success he had. And every day I wake up, put my feet on the ground, I'm going to do everything I can to make Terry Gamble proud and represent him and what he's done for me.
One final thing. I have been able to kind of, do my own due diligence when it comes to your staff. And I know that still is to be determined. It sounds as if you have lofty goals for who are going to be those who will join you, stay with you, or come with you on that staff. How soon can all that be turned around?
Our goal is to have most of this stuff done by the end of this week. We have, Coach Hume has some guys going with him, and there's some other guys that have an opportunity here, that I've already met with today that told me they're taking other opportunities. So there's some positions to fill. Obviously in the high school ranks, teaching fields have to match up. You can't just say, well, I want to hire this guy, and if he can't teach what you have open, then it's not going to work. And so, I'm fortunate to have a big network, for the guys I've worked with and been around, and being a part of the THSCA board of directors has opened up some avenues for me to have a big network. And so, a lot of the guys I know that can flat coach football, can flat teach class, and are certified. And so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's fixing to be exciting. We're fixing to bring some big time dudes on board to join the guys that are already here, and this thing's fixing to be special.
Shane, thank you. Congratulations.
Congrats.
We, of course, have the Midway games. We did Connolly last year, which was great. You had a lot to do with that. We will still have Connolly as well. Thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.
Hey, thank you, guys. It means a lot. Appreciate y'all.
And you do, too. That's Shane Anderson, new football coach at Midway. Based on what I've learned, his offensive coordinator is one of the best that has been around Central Texas when it comes to that system, if, in fact, that goes through. And he's a head coach elsewhere. And then a former coordinator at Midway, who's at one of the largest schools in Texas, is also a part of the mix, along with who's at Midway, who's at Connolly, and who else might be coming in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the staff fills out, but I think the biggest thing, and I'm not sure if Brad Shelton saw this or not, but I just take away from this that Shane's not scared of Duncanville and DeSoto and all these teams that, like the big bad district that they're in. Are they going to take their lumps? Probably. Would every other team in the state, if they were in that district? Yep. I mean, throw Temple, throw Connolly, throw anybody you want to in that district, and they're going to get slapped around by some of those teams. So that's just the natural order of things. But I can guarantee one thing: that team will not fight, or that team will not quit, and they will fight under Shane Anderson, and that can lead you to winning a couple games maybe that you shouldn't. So if anything, the wins might not come right away. Maybe they do. I mean, I'm not ruling that out either, but if they don't, it won't be for a lack of trying, fighting, and continuing to try and get better.
No question about it. We do have Midway. We have Connolly for the upcoming 2021 season. Cannot wait. I mentioned the Connolly. They will have an interim coach for now, open up the coaching search almost immediately, hope to have a replacement by the end of the month. That's according to Wes Holt, the superintendent. When we come back, he's a Hall